Hey guys, in this video I'm going to work out how much higher I could jump if I lost some weight. This is a general question a lot of people ask in the vertical jump community, and hopefully I will have an answer for you. So I have two methods. The first is using an online jump calculator to work out the physics of jump height, and the second is by actually jumping with extra weight attached to me. Let's start with the fun one. So I did a full warm-up followed by some counter movement jumps with 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 kilos hanging off me. I did each weight 3 times and in a random order to minimize the impact of fatigue. I'll show you them in order so you can keep track, starting with no added weight. In full clothing and shoes, I was 72.7 kilos, 160 pounds. I included the skipping rope in that because that's how I attached the weights to me. I had about 90 seconds rest, which was enough time to measure my chalk mark, then rub it off and set up the next weight on the rope. Once I had all the values, I plotted each point on a graph and did a line of best fit. That ends up looking like this, which is a downward slope showing that going from no added weight to 5 kilos drops my vertical by 4.5 centimeters. That is roughly 1 centimeter per kilo, assuming force output stays the same, which is equivalent to an inch per 5 pounds. Just to test that theory, I did one final jump with 10 kilos added. If you carried on the red line on the chart, that would see me jump 47 centimeters, and I managed 45 centimeters. Not bad for my 19th jump of the day. Okay, on to method 2. I went to dunkcalculator.com, linked below, and entered different values for vertical jump height and body weight, which then told me how much force I'd need to generate. I then plotted those, so on the x-axis you have your desired jump height, and on the y-axis the force needed to get it. The coloured markers represent the different body weights I put in, which range from 152 to 162 pounds, which is 69 to 73.5 kilos. As you might expect, jumping higher requires more force at any given weight, and for the same jump height, the heavier you are, the more force you need. What we can then do is read across the graph. So the same force needed by a 162 pound person to jump 33 inches could be used to take a 152 person to 35 inches. It's actually more like 153 pounds on this chart, so 2 inches for 9 pounds, and down the other end it's 1 inch for 6 pounds, so 2 for 12. So the average of those is very close to the 1 inch per 5 pounds from my experiment. I'm quite pleased that the two methods align so well, but I should note that the 1 inch per 5 pounds or a centimetre per kilo isn't relevant for every body weight and every jump height. If you weigh 190 pounds with a 28 inch vertical, losing 10 pounds would take you to 29.5 inches, assuming you could still produce the same amount of force. To get an idea of how much leaner you could be, you could check out body fat percentage on Google Images. So I'm about 16% fat, and if I dropped to 10% fat without losing power, I could jump 4 centimeters or 1.5 inches higher. In general, my advice would be to not get too hung up about losing weight. Unless you've clearly got easy pounds to shed, then you're better off increasing your ability to produce force at your current weight. Thanks for watching.